现是假发也戴上了啊，还是老太太，还是丑啊，没用，你老就是老了，咋折腾也没用。你看，你就是老太太，你咋折腾也是老太太。
There's currently a trend of older people getting facelifts to look as young as they once were, revisiting their prime, their teenage years, strictly through appearance. Except something gets, messed up midway, and we end up with a horrifying vacuum-sealed face. I'm not even exaggerating. On Douyin, this whole mass face transformation thing is blowing up. But why is it even happening? That's exactly how we got here. People in their 40s and 50s, and sometimes even 60s, rushing to get their aging fixed. And they end up getting these extreme facelifts that end up distorting their faces and even leaving them looking like permanently stiff. Even when fully healed, the face still looks kinda off. Like simplified or flattened. Low-key a face you could easily draw.
这皮也拉了，眉毛也切了，眼袋也做了，鼻子也做了，嘴巴也做了，皮还拉了3次啊！你看。
Welcome back to another episode of Tay Wheels of Reactions. Welcome to all my new viewers and to all my regulars. We on our way to 250 subscribers. If you want to catch me on Twitch, hit me up on twitch.tv/TayWhizzleTV every day at 5 p.m. except Saturdays. If you got any clips that you want to see, send me. Send them in the X community. Link gonna be down in the description. I want to thank everybody for tapping into their channel, hitting that like and subscribe button, and commenting. I really appreciate everybody. Today we are reacting to this disturbing obsession in China called mass face, and it's a process that's supposed to be essentially a facelift. And the reason why people getting this is because they done got obsessed with trying to be young. So they go to these sketchy clinic and get with these what people are calling a bootleg facelift. Man, I honestly don't know what's up with everybody that got just like money to blow going to these plastic surgery clinics, BBL doctors, and just altering their body and their physical appearance. And the crazy thing about it is, a lot of these people, as far as like the mask face and the bubble face people, well, especially the bubble face people, bro, they like a half of them wasn't even bad looking. But you won't believe the underhand procedures that these doctors are performing illegally, and the amount of people that have taken and became obsessed with this procedure. Just watch. And as always, if you like the content, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button.
Do you ever feel old? Okay, I know I'm reaching Ung status and there's absolutely nothing we can do about it, but let me ask you one thing. How badly do you want to stay young? Because at this point, I don't even know what timeline we're in anymore. I'm just doom scrolling peacefully on Douyin, like usual, and then I start seeing these before and after videos of people in their 40s and 50s getting their faces stretched like rubber and coming out like they're aliens trying to blend in with humans. There's currently a trend of older people getting facelifts to look as young as they once were, revisiting their prime, their teenage years, strictly through appearance. Except something gets, messed up midway, and we end up with a horrifying vacuum-sealed face. I'm not even exaggerating. On Douyin, this whole mass face transformation thing is blowing up. But why is it even happening? Well, on the surface, people love dramatic transformations, right? Glow-ups get tons of views, and even make people famous on there. A lot of these videos are disguised as personal sharing, like they're just showcasing their journey. But if we're being real here, they're basically selling a dream. Look decades younger overnight. Except some of these clinics are doing what people call fake facelifts, and instead of a proper facelift where you're working on the inner layers of your face, like actual professionals do, instead they just cut the skin, pull it back, and call it a day. No proper repositioning of fat, muscles, or fascia, just surface level stretching like they're wrapping a gift box. And that's how you end up with the mask face phenomenon. Congrats, your wrinkles are gone. But so is your ability to express emotion. Now, what did this all kind of stem from? Well, it started as a wholesome trend on Douyin called refusing to be old, or 不服老. And at first, you know, it was pretty chill. You had stylish grandpas dripped
Okay.
out better than most of us.
Okay.
Aunties hitting the gym like it's leg day every day. All pretty much just elderly people doing Gen Z things. It was
Damn.
about staying youthful in spirit. We love to see it. But then, of course, we can't have nice things now, can we? Many teenagers just took this anti-aging obsession to a whole nother level. I'm talking using face tape to prevent wrinkles and even using specific special straws to avoid smile lines. Careful there.
What?
That laugh might cost you a wrinkle. Eventually, people start
What?
thinking that looking older is some kind of mistake, you know, instead of like being alive. That's exactly how we got here. People in their 40s and 50s, and sometimes even 60s, rushing to get their aging fixed. And they end up getting these extreme facelifts that end up distorting their faces and even leaving them looking like permanently stiff. And this is no joke procedure because they also leave scars, like in front of the ears and even behind the ears. This is a great time to make a Asian joke, but I'll pass on. Now, some people do try to defend it, saying that, oh, it just looks weird because it's right after the surgery, which is valid. Okay, that definitely can be the case, but what I realized is that a lot of people saying that are the clinics themselves. And let's say that's the case. Even when fully healed, the face still looks kinda off. Like, simplified or flattened. Low-key a face you could easily draw.
这皮也拉了，眉毛也切了，眼袋也做了，鼻子也做了，嘴巴也做了，皮和拉。
The obsession with people trying to alter their appearance is crazy. And a lot of the times, those type of people be the main people, like, pointing hate towards others on some racist shit too. But to be actually willing to cause damage to your face, your nerves, your muscles and tissue, bro, like, what dope is people on over there, bro? God damn.
假发也戴上了啊，还是老太太，还是丑啊，没用，你老就是老了，咋折腾也没用。你看，你就是老太太，你咋折腾也是老太太。
Yeah. Here's the thing, these are serious procedures, and if you don't do your research or you get lured in by a low price, you can end up in a really bad situation. You're stuck with it. The side effects include that tight face plus droopy eyes combo, and if the skin is pulled even slightly too tight, it can end up damaging the skin itself. Like your face can start thinning and looking fragile at the same time. Then there's nerve damage, which is always fun. Since the facelift doesn't just deal with the skin, it actually goes into the tissues itself, there's a high chance that one of the nerves can be hit. Some sensory nerves getting affected is almost unavoidable. It's like you're rolling a dice to see if you'll end up with facial paralysis. And then there's the chance of your skin deteriorating. You go into this thinking that I'll look younger, but sometimes it makes you look even older than you already were.
32岁做大拉皮会不会太早？我是已婚已育，首先怀孕加坐月子，我一共是胖了30多斤，全身的皮肤就像气球一样吹胀，然后再泄了气就很松弛，尤其是脸上断崖式的衰老，它已经完全支撑不了我的这张脸，所以就是做拉皮是我最好的一个选择。
Now we gotta talk about this one guy who basically paved the way for this entire trend. There's this doctor on Douyin and TikTok known as Dr. Kim, and this man went viral. He gained millions of views per video, and his format is always a normal middle-aged person, wrinkles, sagging skin, normal aging, then bam, the big reveal, 20 years younger. You guys ever played Oblivion? And the transformations, yes, they are dramatic, but you know what I also realized? It's the fact that they all look the same. Now, this Dr. Kim might not actually be who you think he is. Because first of all, clicking the link on his profile leads us to a Vietnamese website where you can actually book appointments. But another thing to notice is that some of the videos he posts are actually just carbon copies of other videos. Now, take a look at this video right here from Dr. Kim. I actually found the same video on a Chinese doctor's Instagram page. So I decided to message them and pretend that I was interested in surgery. They say that they're in Shanghai and that the cost is just $5,000, even though all I said briefly was just I wanted something done to my eyes. And when I asked him, is Dr. Tiao Mu the one operating? He says he's actually the director of consultation, Dr. Tian, meaning that Dr. Tian is the one managing Dr. Tiao Mu's page. And it gets weirder. Take a look at this male transformation video on Dr. Tiao Mu's page. It's very clearly labeled that it's Dr. Tiao Mu, so you would think that he's the one who did this. But actually, I found the exact same video on Douyin under the name Zhu Mengjie. So who's the culprit here? You can see how sketchy it is and how easy it is to just false advertise and promote something that is just completely ripped off of another account.
大家庭又有学员要毕业了啊，然后我们合个影。来，姐姐们在张家住的开心不开心？开心。做拉皮找谁？找张张。给张张点个赞。耶。
Bruh, These people is sacrificing facial expressions. So they just gotta have like the blank face for the rest of their life. Bruh, what the fuck? Man, love yourself. Love yourself. God made you beautiful just the way you are. Everybody is attractive in their own way. I might not be attractive to some people, but I might be very attractive to others. You feel what I'm saying? And the same way for other people. You might not be attractive to some people, but you might be very attractive to others. It's gonna be like that. I know some people, I know a person that called Beyonce ugly. I ain't gonna let y'all know who it is, cause that's my friend, and I don't want them to get beat up.
Leads us into one of the most messed up situations in this entire thing. A guy named Jing Dawei, and he wasn't just a random person. He was a mainland Chinese influencer who was actually doing really well, about 1.4 million followers on Douyin, so man was thriving. He had good looks, he does funny content, and he already had that influencer face that people are chasing. One day he just randomly vanished, like no updates, no posts. Netizens were confused, like, did bro just quit? What happened? And then 2 years later, he came back, and it was not what people expected. He posted a video of him crying, explaining everything. It turns out he had undergone a couple of procedures, mainly a facelift and fat grafting, which is just moving fats of your face to different areas. He said his friend had encouraged him to improve his face, and the doctor basically sold him the dream of being younger than he already was, and at the time he already felt like he was getting older and wanted to go back to his teenage looks and revisit his, prime youth. Which again, this is what the anti-aging mindset does to people. After the surgery, instead of looking younger, he looked decades older. He went from a young male influencer with smooth skin to deep wrinkles, folds. I mean, he even said that he went from a beautiful man to an ugly monster. To me, it doesn't look as bad as some other botched procedures. I mean, it's clear that damage has been done, but because of the face he once had, you can tell it's destroying him. He's also in his early 30s, so it's clear that it's not just affecting older people. He talked about suffering mentally from severe insomnia, hair loss from stress, and just constant embarrassment. He wouldn't even take off his hat in public, like he stopped socializing with friends, pretty much locked himself away. And even his parents and his own relatives openly criticized his appearance. Which is messed up, okay?
不见我这2年好像没怎么好好拍过视频了，为什么呢？因为我脂肪填充高汇融了，之后真的老了不只有20岁。本来是想变好看的，后面变成了一个丑八怪。我那段时间睡也睡不着，头发大把大把的掉。我这个帽子我从来不敢摘下来过，因为一摘下来就特别明显。我过年回家，我爸妈一直在说我怎么变丑了，连平时不怎么说话的亲戚都说：“哎，你怎么变丑了？” 我是不敢让你们看到现在的我，我不敢看别人的眼睛，我也不敢和别人社交。我现在真的好后悔啊！我后悔没有保护好以前的自己。
It look like he faking.
对不起，我奉劝大家真的不要乱整你。没有那些无良医生，你们赚这些钱，你心不会痛吗？晚上你睡得着吗？一个人的后半生毁在你手上，你负担得起吗？
So yeah, now he honestly looks much better. He said he regretted everything and that he'd been misled by the doctor and that he wished he understood the risks beforehand. And honestly, respect to him for not disappearing forever and actually coming out and publicly sharing the story. Now, you might think it doesn't get worse than this. Well, it does. Because the Chinese cosmetic industry loves to be super innovative, for the better or worse, they came up with another method to make yourself look younger, and that is implanting 3D printed pieces of plastic to screw into your face. I'm serious. This material is called PEEK, and it's basically a medical grade plastic. To be fair, it's not just some random material. It's actually been used for years in actual medical procedures. Originally, it was used for like reconstructive purposes. But then, it slowly started turning into a beauty trend. Because just last year, Chinese social media apps like Xiaohongshu and Kuaishou started promoting the idea of bone structure anti-aging. And the concept was, your face isn't sagging because of your skin. It's because your bones are weak. And influencers started saying it's the ultimate permanent solution. Instead of using fillers that dissolve over time, you can set a strong base foundation for your face by using PEEK. All you have to do is just bolt some plastic into your face like it's armor. You can get PEEK implants on your shoulders, your forehead, your eyebrows, your skull, your chin, basically anywhere. And why are people falling for this? It's being marketed perfectly. This is for people with high standards. Influencers are chasing that perfectly sculpted Wang Honglian, and PEEK promises a perfect fitted custom design, since it's made using a 3D scan of your skull. So yeah, technically, it does fit you. But so does your original face. PEEK character customization. Pun intended. So first off, how does it work? Let's say somebody, comes around and says that they want to bolt some peak onto their forehead to make it protrude forward because, yeah, that's also an aesthetic. First, they start off with a CT scan of your skull. Basically, they turn your entire head into a model, and they decide how thick the peak should be. And once they finalize the design, it gets sent off to be 3D printed, and then gets shipped back to the hospital. Now, during the surgery, they first make incisions, then they insert the peak implant, and then they screw it onto your bone with titanium screws. And the worst part is the fact that since it's pre-shaped or pre-made and it's rigid, if it doesn't fit properly during the surgery, you can't adjust it. You can't move it. It's permanent. It's expensive too, costing up to 100,000 yuan, which is like $14,000. So it's considered a luxury procedure. Now, of course, when you wake up, you gonna feel like you got punched in the face 100 times, Numbness, swelling, it's all part of the experience. But what's really terrifying is that there have been cases where the peak implant actually started moving. Some people reported it slipping around inside their face and even pieces coming out of their mouth. Son, why are we doing this? And since it's custom made and screwed into your bone, there's no going back. Like, if you don't like it, or it shifts around, or you get an infection, you're cooked. Take a look at the influencer Yizhi Dameina. She ended up spending about 1.3 million yuan on cosmetic procedures, and at first she was just doing some small microplastic procedures because she was bullied online. And you know how this goes. One procedure turns into another, and eventually she ends up doing a full face bone reshaping using peak. The result? She achieved the ideal influencer look, but with the drawback of a crooked smile and unaligned teeth. She now can't chew food properly. She can't even eat meat, nor can she bite through noodles. I mean, her face became completely unaligned.
现在呢，导致啥呢？看我面部一笑，有点嘴歪眼斜那种。
So guys, this is why if you ever feel insecure, just please don't. She openly says that if you can avoid it, try to avoid it. Be unique and don't end up like us with plastic surgery faces that all look the same. So why would she or anyone else go through all of this? Well, because the selling point is actually kind of genius, in a manipulative way. They say a properly designed implant becomes an extension of your own bone. It's not fake, it's just you, but upgraded. And it also lasts for years, and it's permanent, which they market as a benefit. Well, let's be honest. Permanent mistakes hit much different. Here's the thing, all cosmetic procedures have trade-offs no matter what. It's just that most of these trends that appear once in a while just try their best to hide it. Listen, it's completely normal to wanting to look your best, okay? Nobody is clowning you for not wanting to be a chud. I want to frame Mog and Looks Max over the next guy just as much as you do. And here's where I would say to you guys, don't screw 3D printed plastic into your face. But you know what? After covering this many plastic surgery trends in China, imagine if we all combined and everybody got a different procedure. I get the plastic head, you get the small lips, you get the wide shoulders, and we all formed and fused into one celestial being born from every Douyin aesthetic there is. Like, how would that even work? Like, so if you actually pulled your face, back, oh my god, no, that's, okay.
Bro, I started tweaking at the end of the video. I was literally with him up until that point. But bro, I ain't gonna lie. Kind of glad that shit over with, bro, because, bro, I was starting to kind of feel like that shit was moving in my face, bro. No, I won't be doing that. No. Bro, screwing a fucking 3D printed shit in your face, bro. Then they talk about it be moving. You see that shit coming through your teeth? Bruh, hell to the nah. I sound like my mama right now. How is that shit legal, though? I ain't gonna lie, this shit is crazy. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this down in the comment section. What you think about mask face? I, for one, think that shit is insane. Diabolical. I feel like the face is one of your most sensitive parts on your body, bro. I'm not even talking about, sensitive to touch, but just, sensitive, period. I wouldn't even want nobody to touch my face. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about this mask face obsession that's going on in China. Would you get mask face if you had the opportunity? You had the opportunity to readjust your face the way you wanted to. Would you get this procedure? If you would, let me know what part of your face would you get altered. But if not, and you with me, let me know that too down in the comments, bro. Because I won't be touching a darn thing on my face. The only way, bro, this gonna happen is if a nigga end up looking like Freddy Krueger. That means a nigga cooked anyway. But as always, if you made it to the end of this video, you made it this far, please hit that like and subscribe button. We on our way to 250 subscribers. Thanks to you all, man. I want to thank each and every one of y'all for tapping into the channel, showing me love, likes, and subscribing, and commenting on the channel. I really appreciate it. If you want to catch me live, go to twitch.tv/TayWizzleTV every day at 5. Sometimes I be late, but except Saturdays. And if you got anything that you want to send me, go ahead and put it in the X community. That's why I'm trying to get started. I'm trying to get y'all acquainted with the X community. The link for that gonna be down in the description. It's been another episode of Tay Wizzle Reactions, man. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all for giving me y'all time, and I thank y'all for watching. I'll see y'all in the next one.
She didn't have to cut me off. We were nothing.